Hello, Chi Sisters. I'm very happy to connect with you today. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the concept, given that here in the United States in this week of Thanksgiving, to really talk about gratitude and how that can flow as an energy field through us. And I'd like to do a little practice that helps us to embody gratitude in the context of reciprocity. One of the things I think that is super important, because things are so volatile right now, are the three practices that are basically how we ground each of the three levels: heaven, human, and earth. So whether you've been in this community for a while or you're new to it, you can go onto the Way of Joy resources page, take a look at some of the other material that's out there that'll explain a little bit more about what these three different realms are about. But when we talk about the three practices, the first practice is embrace wholeness, which is how we ground, or the earth aspect of the heaven triad. So the heaven triad all has to do with our inspiration, our ability to connect with our observer self, be able to shift out of victim mindset no matter what the challenges are. So we can do that by embracing wholeness, by saying yes to what life brings us without feeling like, oh, I'm going to be smothered or overtaken or something like that, to be really able to go into that embrace and recognize that we can use it all. So the second practice then becomes to cultivate discernment. That's how we ground the human realm. And the human realm is all about how we connect with one another, our strengths, our limitations, our sense of boundaries, our sense of self-expression, our freedom to be who we truly are. All of that is in the human triad, and it's grounded through cultivating discernment. So when we've embraced wholeness, then we begin to decide, what is it that works for us? What is it that we don't? What do we want? What do we don't want? What do we believe, not believe? How are we going to determine our values? That's all how we ground the human triad. The third triad, of course, is the earth triad, which has to do with our empowerment, our ability to walk our talk, our ability to take action steps. And that's done through the process of allowing alchemy. Allowing whatever comes when we embrace that wholeness, we determine what's working through cultivating discernment. Then we allow alchemy, we allow that which we don't want, the things that are triggering or hard for us, the things that are old habits that don't serve us anymore, to really drop down into the earth, where they can be composted and brought back up as neutral energy to serve us. So that way, everything that happens in our lives becomes useful, as opposed to becoming something that we're feeling like somehow we are just at risk or at effect of whatever's happening. And so what does this have to do with gratitude? Well, gratitude is basically threaded through this, because then we can be actually grateful. Everything becomes a growth opportunity. Everything becomes something that can stimulate growth. In the case of these days right now, it might be stimulating growth in terms of connecting with loved ones, maybe at this time of year particularly, or maybe it has to do with really slowing things down and recognizing that you're going to embrace what is and really be able to work with it. Or maybe it has to do with looking for where your allies are, looking for where your support is. So the practice I'd like to do is actually a very, very simple practice. And I'm keeping this short because it is a holiday week, and I want people to be able to use this immediately, and maybe do this, if you can, a couple minutes every day as we move through the week. So whether you're in this country and you are part of Thanksgiving, or you're in this country and not part of Thanksgiving, or whether you're out of the country, I think no matter where you are, I think that this is a great practice to do. So we're going to just begin by putting the hands on the heart, your hands on your heart, and we're going to circle 9 times in each direction. So you can go you can start in whichever direction you want, because we are going to do both directions. So the main thing is to just take a moment as you do this movement to feel the warmth between your hands and your chest. And of course, right behind the breastbone is the thymus gland. So this is the center of our immune system. So as weather shifts and changes across the country, you're stimulating your own immune system, so that you're not so much at effect from the elements, but able to stay centered and in your own Wei Qi field. I'm going to go in the opposite direction now 9 times. And as you do this, make sure that you're breathing. Right? I'm talking, so I'm not focusing on my breath so much. But what I'd like you to do is to see if you can incorporate the 6 direction breathing that we've worked on in the past. And again, if you're new to this program, please look at some previous videos so that you can see what I mean. They're all labeled in terms of what the content is. I think we're about at 7 or something like that. So just going to do this a couple more times. And of course, 9 times is optimal, but if you do a few less or a few more, it's not that important. The main thing is to stimulate this area in the heart chakra. Then I'd like you to just hold your hands for a moment as we do in the practice of as above, so below. In fact, let's just take a moment to breathe and expand. Let your clavicles expand, your collarbones like they're smiling, and there's space between your shoulder blades. Then I'd like you to just have a sense of what is it that you want to send out to the world? What is the gratitude that you want to send out? We're going to exhale, send out what that energy is. And then inhale, draw in what you'd like to receive from the world around you right now. What are you appreciating, wanting to take in? So sending out that sense of gratitude as a way of energizing the world around you, and inhale, receiving from the world that energy for yourself to really nourish yourself. So exhale to send out. Inhale to draw in. Exhale to send out. Inhale to draw in. One more time, out and in. And bring your hands back to your heart. Couldn't be simpler, right? So I'd love you to just do that practice 9 times is best, and then finish with your hands on your heart. The other thing I'd love to hear from you, either through email or if you prefer to post it on the Facebook group, the Way of Joy Community Facebook group, I'd love to see it. What are the words that you're using? What are you thinking? Inspire us. Tell us what you're thinking. What are you sending out? What are you wishing? What's your prayer for the world right now? What's your prayer for your community? What's your prayer for whoever it is that you're wanting to touch? And then what is it that you're wishing to receive from the world around you? What can you take in as energy? What can you really receive? So that we're really working with the element of reciprocity that's going back and forth in a very natural flow. Okay, that's it for today. Until next time, be well and let the chi flow. Bye-bye.